All I ever wanted was to make a living off of snowboarding. Everyone told me it wasn't possible, including my parents. Everyone said I'd have to get a real job if I didn't want to be a bum for the rest of my life. Fast forward to today. I live in one of the most beautiful parts of British Columbia. I've got a fiance, a dog, a kid, I own a house, I make enough money. What do I do for work? In the winters, I build snowboard parks. I get paid to snowboard and drive snowcats and play in the snow. In the summers, I work for myself as a filmmaker, videographer, photographer, so I'm living my dream, right? Not exactly. When I was in high school, I got a job directing traffic in the parking lots. It finished by like 10 a.m. so I could go snowboarding. I got a free season's pass. I did it so I could go snowboarding and not have to pay for it. After high school, I went to college. What did I go to college for? You can't make this shit up. Ski resort management. Well, as it turns out, ski resort college is still college, sitting in classrooms, studying and taking tests. And guess what you can't do in a classroom? You guessed it, snowboard. Long story short, I skipped enough classes to go snowboarding that I would have had to redo a few of my classes. And I said fuck that and dropped out. Back to having no education, no job, nowhere to live. And honestly, sorry to burst your bubble, but if you're planning to go to ski resort college, I still think it would have been a complete waste of time if I had completed that course. So I went back to my home ski resort, got another job, and started paving my own path. Over the years, I got into building terrain parks, operating snowcats, and eventually into a year-round management position. Who would have thought? I guess I really didn't need to go to that school. Since then, I've built parks in Australia, in the USA. I've built a career. In the middle of all this, I met my fiance. Snowboarding gave me a community and friends, family, goals, and most importantly, I was living my dream. But then I started breaking bones. It was manageable at first, a wrist here, nose there, fractured skull. You know, no big deal. That type of stuff wouldn't stop me. I'm not a soccer player. But then things got worse. I broke my ankle, badly. The surgeon told me that the first time they saw this bone being broken was from pilots crashing feet first into the ground. Major impact. So one major surgery later, a few screws in my ankle that are gonna be there for life. I was bedridden for 3 months, on crutches for another 3 months after that, learning how to walk again. And then I spent the rest of that summer on a cane. My doctor was like, "You're never gonna snowboard again." My parents were crying, I didn't know what to do with my life. Cue feelings of loss of identity, spiraling thoughts, existential crisis. Then I was like, hey doctor, get fucked. But in true fashion of living my life to snowboard, by that next winter, I was back snowboarding. If this couldn't hold me back, nothing could. Yeah, and of course, sure, I broke a couple more bones, had another surgery, dealt with a stint of depression. That was fun. But I wasn't gonna give up. Snowboarding was my lifeline. Snowboarding is who I was, and it's what kept me going. I was pretty certain that if I could never snowboard again, that would be the end. What else was there to live for? And then I shattered my heel. This injury was different. Maybe it's because I wasn't 19 anymore. Maybe it was the severity of it. Maybe it was because I re-injured my other ankle while I was trying to go back to work maybe a little too early, 3 days after breaking my heel. And I tripped and fell in the snow trying to walk on crutches in the snow. If you've ever done it, just don't. Ski baskets on the end of the crutches work a little bit, but let's continue. Either way, this started a long and painful and difficult journey, a slow, painful spiral. This was the start of years of doctor's visits, being told that it would only get worse, being told that I need ankle replacements in my future, that I have arthritis developing in my feet and it's only gonna get worse. This time, I actually believed the doctors and started really rethinking my life. Sure, I still snowboard, but riding's not the same. I'm a park rat. I can't huck myself off big jumps anymore. What am I gonna do? Anytime that I try to push myself now, it just means crawling to the bathroom in the morning, literally crawling because I can't walk, praying that the hot water from the shower is gonna get me moving. And years of that will take a toll on anyone. So I stopped snowboarding as much. Only for work, going from 100+ days a season up for my own riding to maybe 2 or 3. I was losing my identity, my reason for everything. I was losing snowboarding. And maybe it's easy to say now with a smile on my face, but honestly, at the time, fuck. It's still hard to deal with. But I've made it work. Let's continue. I've always been a little interested in filming. I used to film myself snowboarding and try to make little edits on whatever platform was available at the time. I had no idea what I was doing. YouTube wasn't even a thing. One Christmas, my parents bought me a camera. and I spent every waking hour of my life trying to learn how to use this thing. And let me tell you, I did the whole fake it till you make it. My first photo job was, I will tell this in another story because this is wild. The poor girl that I conned into telling that I was a photographer. But I developed a new passion, a new reason for living, a new identity, and a new dream. Now I still build terrain parks, I still snowboard when I can, but I'm still on my board. I wake up in the mountains in the mornings, but I've diversified my passions into a life of adventure and creativity. And does it suck to not be able to do what I want to sometimes? But I'm rolling with those punches, so hit that sub button and follow along. So that's my story. I guess the cliche takeaway is follow your dreams, don't let anyone tell you otherwise, but be prepared for life to throw curveballs at you.